everyone. Welcome to a new game. This is a Mortician's Tale. This is an indie game that I got included in a charity bundle that I purchased many years ago. Um, I know it's a short experience, a learning experience about death. Um, and let's jump into it. Do I? No, okay, is it just. Okay, so it should just be mouse then. Hello and welcome to our new funeral director, from Matthew Jeffrey to Charlie. Welcome, Charlie. Nice to meet ya. My name's Matthew, and I'm mainly going to be the man who delivers the bodies to ya and helps with some of the more heavy lifting. Ever hear that joke about a hearse driver? I'll tell it to you when I come by in a bit. Looking forward to working together. I think you'll enjoy working here. Amy is a sweetheart, but she runs a tight ship. Nothing you can handle, I'm sure. She wouldn't have hired you otherwise. Cheers and good luck. Okay, from Amy Rose, to Rose and daughter staff. Hello everyone, I'd like to use this opportunity to introduce our new funeral director Charlotte, or Charlie, as she told me she likes to be referred to. Charlie is a recent graduate who came highly recommended and is eager to begin her career here with us at Rose and Daughter's Funeral Home. Please take the time to make Charlie feel at home within our little family. We'll have a nice catered lunch this afternoon so we can all get to know each other a little better as well. Hello, Charlie. Well, you're new here, so it's probably best I explain what everything is. In your office, preparation room, you'll find your cremation station, cremulator station, embalming station, and obviously, since you're reading this email, your desk and computer area. I know you have experience working with these stations, but please let me know if you have any questions. Jen Love. I guess my subject line, so you should start being more professional now that we are business professionals. I can't wait to get your reply so I can see your fancy new email signature. I love that you were able to land this gig straight after graduating. It sounds super cool. I didn't even know mom and pop funeral homes were a thing until now. Guess just not something I really think that much about. I should look more into this, learn more about your world and industry because, as I said, you are now a very serious professional. Speaking of being professional, my museum gig is amazing. I can't believe somebody paid me to move to London, and not London, on serial killer capital of Canada, to work in a museum. Like, take that everyone who said I couldn't get a job with an art history degree. I'll tell you more about it when we Skype. My stories require you to see my face and that you hear my excellent British accent impersonation. Also, I signed you up for a funerals monthly newsletter. Consider it your graduation gift. I love you. I am super proud of you. Gift. Love you, love you, love you. Jen L. Oh. Hello, Charlie. Hope you settled in okay so far. Matthew should have dropped off your first body for you to work on. He said you were really friendly, and he's glad to have someone young and lively to work with. You'll get used to his sense of humor. Your first body is Mrs. Garcia, an elderly woman who died suddenly of a heart attack. The family has asked for a closed casket funeral, so no embalming or body preparation is necessary. The family seems a little bit more united than previous families we've dealt with. Strange how grief affects people differently. Perhaps having more time to say goodbye makes things a bit easier, if that's possible. That being said, although you will not be embalming Mrs. Garcia, I do think it's important to take the time to clean her body. No one is going to see your body, but I like to encourage my funeral directors to do this out of respect for the deceased and their loved ones. You'll find Mrs. Garcia in the prep room. Talk soon. Funerals Monthly to subscriber. Thanks for subscribing. Each month we bring you a new newsletter featuring a topic pertaining to the death industry. This month is all about good etiquette for attending a funeral. I really can't believe we have to write this one out, but since we said we'll answer your most popular questions, here we are, because this is definitely one of the most popular questions. Funerals are a hard time. We understand that. But here are some quick and easy rules to remember for being respectful at a funeral. Generally, following the guidelines of don't be a jerk should work. Number 1, do not be on your cell phone. We understand you're busy, but it's the time and place to disengage. You have to be on your cell phone. Don't do so inside the funeral home. Number two, don't be loud and obnoxious. You can share happy stories, but other people are also grieving and working through their own healing process. Being quiet gives other people space they might need. Number three, don't get drunk. Everyone can deal with their feelings in their own way. Just remember to be respectful when with the grieving family and friends. Number four, happily reminisce. Sometimes remembering happy moments and positive experience with the deceased can be a productive part of the healing process. You just said being quiet. Give condolences. It's not easy knowing what to say to someone, but even a simple "I'm thinking of you" can go a long way. Dress appropriately. What this looks like will change based on the customs of the deceased and their culture. But always dress in a way that shows respect to the deceased and their grieving family. Number 8. Give a gift or sign the registration book. This can be flowers or a nice card, but it's the thought that counts here. Sometimes this can even be just cooking dinner for the grieving family. Anything that shows you care and want to help them through the healing process is what matters here. Be kind and helpful. Okay, I actually need to take a sip of my coffee to address all of these rules. So, some some funerals are more formal than others. Some funerals celebrate the life of the person that left us. Some funerals are more about the ones left behind. There isn't a rule on what a funeral should be. And so when it comes to don't be loud, or if you should happily reminisce, or to dress appropriately, like these are all, in my opinion, not mandatory for all funerals. It just depends. It just depends on what the family and friends and the deceased, if you know, if they left a will or a testament or something like that, wants or envisions or prefers even. Now this thing here, the don't get drunk. When my grandpa died, one of his sons got wasted on the funeral. So it wasn't partying or anything. He was just drinking and drinking and drinking and drinking and drinking because he was upset, and that was the only way at that moment he could react. He's doing a lot better now. Like, it's been years ago, but different people react differently to a lot of things, and because losing someone is so, it's just gonna bring a very personal experience. And so don't get drunk. It depends. You know, it just depends. So yeah, it I've been to funerals where it was requested that everyone show up in white. I've been to funerals where I went all black. I went to funerals where it was requested that if you were a student, to come dressed with the official college uniform. You know, the dress appropriately. Yeah, it just depends. There isn't like a dress code, like a unified dress code for all funerals. So, and like I said, there's people that are gonna care. Oh, you're not wearing black, that's disrespectful. And there's other people that are like, dude, it's close. I have a lot on my mind, and your outfit is not one of it. Is not one of those things. So, yeah. Okay. Rose and Daughter's Funeral Home was founded by my grandparents back in 1956. The Rose family has probably served the area since then, providing personal, affordable funeral services for all. I'm proud to have carried on my family's business for the last 36 years, working with the best and brightest funeral directors and grief counselors in the area. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you recently experienced a loss and would like us to help you through this hard time. Here at Rose and Daughters Funeral Home, we're committed to providing loved ones with the best and most affordable funeral services in the area. We offer a diverse range of personalized funeral service options to fit every need. Burial with open casket and reception, 6,000. Burial with closed casket ceremony and reception for 4,200. Cremation with ceremony and reception, 1,700. Direct burial with no ceremony or reception, 1905. Okay, so this is like more expensive than a cremation. Direct cremation with no ceremony or reception, 600 bucks. We also offer custom packages to suit every budget and need. Please do not hesitate to contact us with any questions at amy@rosendaughters.com. Oh wait. Okay, so here's the body. This is the prep room, where you will prepare bodies for burials and viewings. Because the family has requested a closed casket ceremony with no embalming, you are just going to clean the body. Click on the sponge and drag it over the body to clean it. Where is the sponge? Cotton ball sponge. Oh my god, the fucking sound effects. I need to tone them down. Shit, how do... Oh my god. That's it, you're done. Mrs. Garcia will be sent to Mike, who will take care of dressing and putting her in the casket. It's time to go to Mrs. Garcia's funeral. You are responsible for taking care of the deceased body, but it's also important to pay your respects to their loved ones. Follow the arrow to head to the funeral parlor. Man, the sound effect of the fucking sponge. This can't be in the same, like, building, can it? This is just simplified, right? It's not... Right? She would have hated these paintings. She was so particular. Yeah, at least she doesn't have to see them, I guess. That's... yeah, I guess. Is this a colleague? We usually don't small talk a lot at these things. At least that's what I always taught. I hate wearing pantyhose. My legs are so itchy, but it's always so cold in these funeral homes. I think I might actually miss those sweaters she used to knit for me now. A child? Mommy, I'm hungry. When can we go? Yeah, I heard the family specifically said no embalming. I thought it was mandatory, like required by law, but I guess not. Embalming wears me out. Do those chemicals leach into the ground? Seems strange to be using a chemical that is known to cause cancer and putting it into the ground like that. Or into the sewer. That's what they must do with the leftover formaldehyde, right? Just pour it down the drain? At least embalming guarantees you won't be buried alive. Stop it, don't make me laugh right now. There's a lot I don't know. I don't think I'm alone here. Yo, we're cleaning. So, okay, so let me explain this in a bit more detail. A colleague and I were discussing the Tide Lacer's liver specimen we have here at the museum. It's from a woman who died in 1907, and the liver is tapered inwards from what the doctor leading the autopsy believed was too tight lacing on her corset. It's fascinating because it's kind of a controversial topic. Tight lacing was super popular, and while people associated it with fainting or hysteria, it's actually been associated with visceroptosis, which is when the organs fall to the lower part of the abdomen, right? Which is super unsettling, but it can also be caused by being pregnant. So, too long, didn't read. Corsets probably messed up some bones, but likely didn't do this kind of internal organ damage. Now I'm tired of the condescension about my wardrobe that also implies I don't know what I'm doing. These are the kind of things I specifically research, and yet am treated like I know nothing about. I'm having a day, Charlie. Huh. Can I rant for just a second? I'm so tired of hearing strangers, colleagues, anybody, male colleagues, get on my case for wearing corsets. I wear them under my blazer and over a nice blouse, so it's not like I'm dressing inappropriately, even though dress codes are such sexist bullshit anyways. Hell yeah! And like, I hate how their misogyny gets veiled in folk concern. Jen, I'm just worried you're damaging your body. You know what corsets do to livers, right? Corsets don't do anything to livers! They're definitely not hurting me as much as your condescension is hurting my head. Sorry. I'm out of sorts right now. I'll send you another email in a little bit when I've cooled off a bit. Hi, Charlie. Here are the instructions for your next body. You did a remarkable job on the first one. The family was very happy with you. No small feat, of course. Pleasing your grieving family isn't exactly the most comfortable of jobs. Your next job is a man named Mr. Duval. An elderly man died of old age. Nothing fancy, just a standard funeral with embalming. You can reach out to his daughter, Lizzie Duval, if you have any questions. She's handling her father's passing as well as can be expected. As always, do not hesitate to ask me any questions. Charlie dear, please remember to wear proper embalming gear. Formaldehyde is extremely dangerous. I know I don't need to tell you, but my maternal instincts are hard to ignore. I promise I won't mother you too much. Well, just a little. Ask Matthew. He knows. Oh. Hi, Amy. Please pass along our deepest thanks to you and your staff for the wonderful job you did with our mother's funeral. It was really lovely. Our family so rarely gets together. It was nice seeing everyone come out for such a beautiful service. My son never gets to see his family. Also, it was incredibly kind of you to let us bring our own food in. Getting to share home-cooked meals, sharing stories, being there together, it meant a lot. So what I'm saying is, it was nice for everyone to be there like that, together in that way, and I know how much of that was due to the work of your staff, especially your funeral director. Thank you for making this difficult time easier for all of us. Best, Mia. Hey there, Charlie. I was driving around the other day, taking our clients on their last trip around town, and I was thinking, strange, I know. Did I ever tell you the first time I went to a funeral? I was a teenager, about to start university, and a friend of mine was killed. In a car accident, totally out of the blue. Really tragic stuff. Messed me and my friends up real good. But so, the big day, and we all got into our best suits and dresses and packed ourselves into a few cars. There were a lot of us, so we had at least 3 different cars full of us, like clown cars, While we were in the procession going to the cemetery, somebody in our car got a phone call from a friend in a different car. Turns out, some asshat driver doesn't know how to not get in the way of a procession, drove through the intersection and smashed straight into our friend's car. Nobody was hurt, thank God, but can you imagine getting that call? Anyways, one of my friends in the same car as me, the one who got the phone call, hung up and started laughing. Just laughing your ass off in that way that makes you not sure if they're really just crying or if they've gone fully off the deep end. And she laughed, and then we all started giggling, because, go figure, life is messed up sometimes, There's no moral, no point to that story, I guess. I just remember that story and wanted to tell you, because we work with death all the time, and I still sometimes get caught off guard by what that actually means. Oh, before you get any ideas, that has nothing to do with why I became a funeral director. That decision came totally later, and is nothing unremarkable. Somebody has to do it, and I have a strong stomach. So why not? Okay. What to wear when you're attending a funeral from a different culture. We all know everyone wants to be respectful at funerals. Don't talk too loudly, be kind, smile, and refrain from making inappropriate jokes, at least around the grieving family. Hey, sometimes some people do need a little bit of a pick-me-up during such hard times. Who are we to judge? And a big part of that is knowing what to wear. Roman Catholic funerals tend to lean more to the formal, black attire rule, and it works for us. Did you know this goes back to the days of the Roman Empire, where people would wear black as a symbol for mourning? Black isn't universally the symbol for mourning, though, and if you're attending a funeral that is from a culture that is not your own, it's important to understand this. Some colors have different meanings, and despite your best intentions, the wrong choice could mean accidental offense. For example, in Hinduism and in Chinese cultures, white is a typical color for funerals. For Islam, though, it is less about the color you are wearing and more about how modestly you are dressed. Refrain from wearing any elaborate jewelry and be respectful of your behavior. For Sikh funerals, color of the clothing isn't as important as is dressing modestly and being able to appropriately sit cross legged. Actually, being respectful is just the number one rule for any funeral, no matter what, really. Remember that, and please don't hesitate to ask what is and isn't appropriate to wear. If you are attending to support a friend, family member, or partner, this day is not about you, so be sure to do whatever you can to be as respectful and supportive as possible, even if that means not wearing what you're used to wearing at a funeral, or even if it just means asking how you can appropriately show your respects. Yes, it's not about the people that are attending, in a way. Um, I feel that it is and it isn't because like funerals and those type of ceremonies exist because the people that are left behind want to pay their respects, say their goodbyes, celebrate a life that has ended. So, like, I would just never force someone to just be this uncomfortable because of a dress code. Like, wear whatever the heck you want. Like, you can even come in a fucking bikini. I don't care. I legit don't fucking care. But maybe I'm just a weirdo. Oh shit, I forgot about the job. You're not gonna cover the rest of your hair? Traditional burials typically require embalming, which preserves the body and prevents it from decomposing as quickly. Unless the family requests otherwise, all traditional burials will use embalming. Let's start by cleaning the body. Okay, so sponge. Razor. I didn't know you had to shave everything. To massage. I had no idea. The eyeballs deflate once the body starts decomposing. Flick can drag an eye cap into each eye socket to give it shape. To keep the eyes shut, you'll need to glue them. Lotion, glue. The mouth sags and hollows once the body starts decomposing. Oh. Where's the needle? Needle. I've never noticed this. Lotion. The skin from drying out. Oh god. Embalming involves removing blood and replacing it with preserving chemicals. Do you need a tube for draining the blood? What? Wait, what? Oh, cannula. Now you need to connect the embalming machine to cannula. Additional. Drag it. Okay. In order to evenly distribute the chemicals, you'll have to massage them through the body. organs of any remaining liquids. Click on the trocar. What is a are you a trocar? And you're done. Mike will take care of Mr. Duval's makeup, as well as dressing and putting him in his casket. It's time to attend the funeral. Like, these are the things that I just never notice in funerals that I went to with an open casket. I've been to 2 of them. No. I've actually been to 4 of them, but I didn't have the courage to look at them, to look at the people in 2 of those. So, yeah. Came out of nowhere. I mean, it always sort of does, doesn't it? Yeah, 1 minute you're laughing, having fun, and then the next, poof, that person is gone. Just like, gone. Yeah, it's weird to think about for too long. Like staring at the sun. I start to feel all fuzzy when I think about it. Huh, so weird. How our bodies just stop working like that. Yeah. Yeah. So strange not seeing most people wearing white. White? Yeah, I think it's different for different family members. I can't remember. I haven't gone to many traditional funerals. So mostly white, but like definitely not red, no matter what. I mean, everyone is in black. Why would you mention white? He always wanted to take his grandkids to the park, play catch. He loved playing catch. He threw a mean curveball, that's for sure. Like, I don't think this is disrespectful. It's just, like, I played games. I played Mario Kart on my Nintendo DS on the funeral of my grandma. Because I just needed something to take my mind off it and just pass the time for a bit. And that was what I had at the time. I always wanted to take... No, dude. The casket. Alright. If you've been a long-time subscriber to our emails or follow us on social media, you've no doubt heard about the misgendering that transgender people are at times subjected to during their funerals. There have been notable situations where trans women have had their wishes overruled by their families and have had their hair cut and buried under the wrong names and subjected to the wrong pronouns in their obituary announcements. We care a lot about this because we believe in treating every person with the same level of compassion, respect, and care. And this absolutely extends to pronouns and respecting the deceased's wishes as per their lived experiences. The CDC's Funeral Director's Handbook on Death Registration and Fetal Death Reporting offers the fraud directive. Enter male or female based on observation. Do not abbreviate or use other symbols. If sex cannot be determined after verification with medical records, inspection of the body, or other sources, enter unknown. Do not leave this item blank. Leaving it up to observation obviously enters into a world of issues since bodies can be so different, and because of ingrained bias, people can draw incorrect assumptions based on their own inaccurate observations. California has passed what is known as the Respect After Death Act, which states that death certificate must reflect the deceased gender's identity as they lived it. So, a step in the right direction. People who are trans deserve the same respect in death that people who are cisgender receive. Misgendering in death takes away this respect. It can also inflict hurt and trauma on spouses and friends that survived the deceased. So what can we do as funeral directors? Listen to the people who come into your office. In America especially, some marriages may not be recognized as legal depending on the laws around same-sex marriage. But this doesn't mean you're not dealing with 2 people who have loved each other in the same way as another couple. Listen, learn, and always be respectful. While you have to work with the next of kin, your duty is also to ensure the deceased receive the utmost respect in their burial. If a funeral is to honor the deceased, then do that. Honor them. I wholeheartedly agree with this. I don't know how it is in my country. I live in Portugal, but Portugal is much more like there aren't as many hurdles to the trans community in Portugal as there exists in other countries. Hold on, let me just take a sip. Um, I have no idea um, how funerals and stuff like this is conducted in my country, but I wholeheartedly agree with this. Um, and it's just upsetting if the family of a deceased trans person, or gay person, or bisexual person, or non-binary person, um, people that are supposed to love us unconditionally just shits on our memory like that. So yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with this. Um, I don't like to look of I don't like the look of this, not one bit. I know you've only been with us for a few months. Maybe you're aware of the trouble Amy has been having. Small mom and pop shop like Rose and Daughters can't compete with the bigger guys. Anyway, don't tell Amy I sent this to you. Also, I'm starving, so I'm going to grab some fast food before taking the hearse through the car wash. Two birds, one stone. And swinging back to the home. Do you want anything? Beef and cheddar? I'm going to take the hearse through the drive-thru though, of course. It freaks people out. I love it. They get so awkward. Let me know. I'm heading out in 15 minutes. Paycheck coming late. Hey Matthew, this is embarrassing, but it seems I miscalculated some of our income and I don't have enough to pay you this week. Would it be terribly inconvenient if I cut you a paycheck for next week instead? If you need money urgently, please let me know. I feel terrible about this whole thing and I can cut you a check from my personal account if need be. I'm so sorry about this. I assure you won't happen again. Okay. I can cut you a check from my personal account if need be. You should. You absolutely fucking should. You owe this man his salary. You don't fucking do this. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, hell no. Oh, I'll be looking for a job. Like, yo, LinkedIn, hook me the fuck up. 1000% is what I would do. Meet cutes for death, positive cuties. Charlie, I was doing some reading. I know, you hate when I try to give you dating advice, but hear me out. There's this dating site that's specifically for people working in the death industry. Okay, so maybe I'm a little worried for you. You haven't mentioned anybody new since the breakup of 2014 that we will never speak of again after this moment. But you're always saying how tired you get of people being scared to ask about your day, so maybe meeting somebody in the industry isn't the worst idea. Just promise me you'll consider it, okay? It's harder for me to make sure you're seeing sunlight when I'm all the way across the ocean. I know you look like a babe with pale skin and witchy gothy aesthetics are super hot right now, but vitamin D is still a good thing. Mom ran over. I'm going to try it out because turns out people get super scared off when you tell them you work in a museum filled with dead bodies. Do you know how not interesting other people find teratomas? Charlie, I didn't know we were this weird to outside people. I've been spoiled by having a best friend who is as much as weirdo as I am. Miss you. Let's grab a bottle of wine for our next Skype date. P.S. If you sign up for Dead Meat, isn't that the best name for a death industry dating website? Tinder rules apply. You have to like me if you come across my profile or whatever. I'm not sure how it works just yet, though. Passing on this lovely thank you note. Hi Amy, thank you for the wonderful evening you and your staff put together for my father's funeral. He wasn't always an easy man to get along with, but I'm glad to have seen him off in such a kind way. Thank you. Hello Charlie, today's funeral is for a woman who died from breast cancer. Nothing fancy, just a standard cremation. Please don't hesitate to ask me if you have any questions. Okay, I'm on it. Before we cremate Mrs. Hall, we'll need to prepare her body. Mrs. Hall family brought clothing and jewelry for her to wear. It's important to remove these before the cremation process as to not damage them. Let's start by removing Mrs. Hall's necklace. We need to be able to identify Mrs. Hall's remains after she's been cremated. Click and drag the round identification tag and place it in the coffin. Great, Mrs. Hall is said to be cremated now. That's it? Well, what about the necklace that we were given? We're gonna return it, or will we keep it? Or what? This is the cremulator. Contrary to popular belief, cremation doesn't turn bodies into ash so much as bone fragments. Using the cremulator, we'll break these bone fragments down into ash-like remains. Let's start by placing the urn in the cremulator. Under the nozzle. What? I need to talk to my dad. He wants to be cremated, I think. Dry the urn. All done. Amy will take the urn to the funeral parlor and present it alongside some flowers. Fucking crap. I had no idea. No idea. This is nice, in a weird way. She liked that we're all here talking. She always tried to keep the family together. The food is delicious. I know that's weird, but these crab cakes are perfect. Glad she was cremated and not in like an open casket or something. Seeing her like that, I don't know if I could have. At least we all got to say goodbye. She would have liked that. She would have hated this music. She never wanted her funeral to be sad. She would have wanted us smiling. She said so. Okay, so who is the bastard that is not making sure the old lady is getting what she wanted? She fought really hard. She was proud of herself. She never gave up. Not once. Yeah, man, fuck cancer. Like in Portugal, when someone gets cremated, there's usually a ceremony with the body before the cremation happens, just so everyone knows. So that was definitely different. Keep on protecting Earth through green burials. You've lived your life mindful of the environment, doing your part to reduce pollution and generally help out where you can. So why not continue doing that even in death? At least that's the thinking for a lot of people who are turning to green or natural burials. Natural cemeteries are becoming more popular and are focused on a few rules. Mainly is that bodies aren't allowed to be embalmed with chemicals that can damage the environment. And bodies must be buried in a biodegradable shroud or casket. Not only is this better for the environment, it's also cheaper. At Union Cemetery in Ontario, Canada, a natural burial is just over $1,000. So better for the people, the environment, just maybe not so good for big business. Let's not forget, people, this is still a business after all. But really, why go green? Green burials help preserve natural resources, work to reduce carbon emissions, protect the health of those preparing bodies, and restore preserved natural habitats. Embalming fluids tend to contain formaldehyde, and funeral directors report a higher incidence of leukemia. Going green and not using toxic chemicals for embalming helps protect funeral directors while at the same time lessening the impact we have on the environment after we're gone. We here at Funerals Monthly think green burials are pretty cool. What do you think? Reply, let us know. I think they're fucking awesome. Maybe I should also bring this up to my dad. My dad is healthy. I hope he doesn't die anytime soon. I mean, I wish he doesn't die ever, but you know. Life. Charlie, I've been playing a new game when things are slow at work. It's called Tales from the Crypt Sweeper. Get it? Get it? It's like Minesweeper, but way harder. Like, seriously, it's really, really difficult. And I thought my Minesweeper game was on point after working that overnight front desk job at that hotel for 3 years, but I must have gotten rusty. Anyways, instead of mines, you want to avoid graves, so you don't disturb the adorable ghosts. The main character also kind of looks like you. Want to start a healthy competition? I score gets to pick the restaurant we go to when one of us is in town next. I thought I would forward this to you. In situations like this, we typically connect people like Ryan with a grief counselor or other professionals who can. Wait. Hi, Amy. I know this email might be a bit odd, but you said if I was ever having troubles, I should reach out, and you should know somebody I could talk to about all this. I don't know what to do now. I know my grandmother had lived a full good life and was very happy, and that she's not in any pain now, but I feel empty, Amy. I've never felt this empty before. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do now? I thought I was stronger than this. Can you refer me to someone to talk to? I don't want to freak out my mom right now. She's dealing with enough, with work and the will and trying to just be the best mom she can. I just need somebody to tell me that it'll be okay. Thank you, and I'm sorry for being an inconvenience. I thought I would forward this to you. In situations like this, we typically connect people like Ryan with a grief counselor or other professionals who can really help him. Sometimes we get emails like this when people don't know where else to turn. It's difficult, and family isn't always the most reliable for some people. I usually would be happy to connect him, but I'm feeling a little tired today, not my usual self, and it would be good for you to start building those kinds of relationships on your own. You're a treasure, Charlie. Well, what the fuck you want me to do? Okay. This person, you said if I was ever having troubles, I should reach out. And you would know somebody I could talk. And now, Amy motherfucking Rose, you're like, actually, I'm tired, so like, Charlie, just do my job. Oh my god. Oh my god. First, you don't pay your workers. Now you're pushing your job to me because you're tired. You don't think I'm tired? Fuck off. Fuck off, man. Fuck off. Charlie, I thought you'd like to see this thank you note. Hi, Amy. I am so eternally grateful that you were able to accommodate our request for my sister's funeral. It was a beautiful service, and she would have been happy with it. That's such a weird thing to say, isn't it? Thank you again from the bottom of my heart. Hi, all. It is with a very heavy heart that I write to tell you all. What? It is with a very heavy heart that I write to let you all know that Rose and Daughters will no longer be in business. I had no idea how to start this email, and resources I googled told me that would be the best and easiest way to break the ice. Be direct but remorseful, Google said. Oh, shut the fuck up. The truth is, I don't really know what to say. Since my father passed away, I've done my best to make Rose and Daughters warm and friendly to anyone who chose to use our services. It was my memorial to him, the original Rose, in a lot of ways. And you've all become like family, including you, Charlie, our most recent addition. But it's been getting harder to make ends meet. Rent is going up in the neighborhood, and I'm finding less and less like I have the energy for this business. There's a lot of competition from other funeral homes, larger corporations than we are, that can take on more business and offer more impressive services. You know the way it goes. So we've been bought, or sold, or I sold. Either way, soon Hillside Heritage Enterprises Inc., a company that owns many funeral homes in the city and across the country, will replace Rose and Daughters starting from the beginning of next month. Same building, same name. They're keeping the name Rose and Daughters Funeral Home for tax purposes. Though honestly, I'm trying hard not to just see it as a move on their part to keep up the image that it's a family-run business. I don't know how I feel about that, but I also don't know if there's anything I can do at this point either. I've signed the papers. At least my father's legacy is still intact somewhat. They have good reputation and have agreed to keep you all on. That was one of my stipulations. I would sell as long as you all weren't without a job. Sorry I didn't tell you in a more personal way. I would have loved to have a company lunch, but I didn't have the heart to tell you in person. This was easier for me. Please understand. You're a fucking coward. Okay. Ooh. What does this mean? Four? How do I know how many are there, though? And oh my god. Okay. Please see the note below about the pacemaker. They can be tricky. Hi, Amy. You asked if there were any special instructions we wanted to pass along. Just please cremate my father. He has a pacemaker too. The doctor told me that would need to be removed. Mariana. Mr. Reyes came directly from the hospital, so we don't have to worry about removing any valuables from him, as the family did not provide any for us to include. However, Mr. Reyes has a pacemaker that we'll need to remove for cremation. Because pacemakers are batteries, they will explode inside the hot heat of the cremation machine, and we definitely don't want that. Let's start by removing Mr. Reyes' pacemaker. Over the heart. The heart isn't there. Huh. I am trying, game. Thank God. I wonder if he ever liked me. He was nice to me, but I don't know. Never seemed like he really cared if I was there or not. Did you ever end up clearing the air with your father? No, we talked a few times, but no, not really. He sounded like a difficult man. He was stubborn. That's just it, stubborn. What do you want to do after this? It's pretty nice out. Let's change and go find a patio somewhere. Sounds good. Could really use a beer right now. Hey, did I ever tell you the time we tailgated? I always told him to quit smoking, but of course he never listened to me, so that figures. Things to avoid saying at a funeral. Welcome back. Now, we rarely do listicles here, but for this month's newsletter, we thought a listicle would be the best way to deliver this month's advice. What not to say at a funeral. We know figuring out the right thing to say to your ring friend can be extremely difficult, and since that's such a personal issue, it's hard to give specific advice. Some things will be more comforting to other people. But fortunately, we can deliver a little bit more solid advice on what not to say to someone who is grieving. So here it is, Funeral Monthly's top 5 things to not say at a funeral. I list they're no longer suffering. Even if this is true, nobody wants to hear this. It's probably not your place to dictate. Who wants to be told that the death of somebody they love is for the best? Like I said, even if it's true, don't be that jerk and just don't say it. I don't agree with this. I don't agree with this. my adoptive mother figure passed away because of cancer, she was in a lot of pain. And while it was incredibly difficult for me to process the loss of her, she didn't deserve the suffering she went through. And that's it. You as much as I love somebody and I want them around in my life, if their existence equals to just enduring endless pain, I'm not gonna be that selfish. So I really don't agree with number one here. Number two, were they saved? No religious statements. Just don't. Why? Because not everyone agrees with their religion's views, and not only is it not always comforting, it can also be insulting. Yes. Absolutely agreed. They're with the angels now. Yup. Yes. Agreed. Or like, God needed them more than you, or it was God's plan, or like, shut the fuck up. Shut the motherfucking pie hole. So, let me know how I can help. This one is tricky. You want to help, but those in mourning won't always ask for help. If you want to help, suggest specific things. For example, I'm free if you need someone to babysit the kids. Actions are better than passive statements. Do something for them, take them to their favorite restaurant, or buy tickets to see a movie together. I would suggest like a mixture. Like, hey, I'm here if you need anything. And then you just kind of like give them, let me just adjust the camera. Give them like, examples. Like, this is actually the opposite of a funeral, but like, my best friend has a newborn baby. Kid was born in March, so he's only a few months old, and the kid, obviously, like, it's their first child, everything is new for them, and I just sent like a text saying, hey, I don't have kids, I'm an only child, I never had to deal with babies, but I do know that the first year, 2 years of a baby's life are incredibly challenging, are incredibly demanding. You and your partner are going to be sleep deprived, and stressed and everything. If you anything you need, let me know. I can send you meals. I can pop up and help you clean the house while you take care of the kid and get some sleep. Just let me know. Anything. And I think it's much more important to be there for the mother, to be there for the be there for the parents of the kid, than, oh my god, when can I go and meet the baby? Like, shut the fuck up. Meeting the baby is not a priority. The priority is to support the two, or I mean, I'm just assuming the kid would have like two parents, but whatever. It's just to support the people that are now, that haven't, just welcomed a baby, and it's a very, very, very demanding thing to take care for a newborn. So number 4, I'm kind of mixed. 5, I know how you feel. Even if you think you do, everyone grieves differently. Don't focus this on yourself. Empathy doesn't involve having to commiserate. Sometimes people will want to hear your experience. Don't assume they will. Ask first. I don't think saying I know how you feel is a good thing. But I don't see a problem with people sharing how their own grieving process um, or grieving processes have went in the past. Particularly, I think if it's the very first time someone is going through it, I think it might be maybe I'm wrong, man. Maybe I might be wrong though. For a quicker version of this list that can be applied in a situation, don't say stuff just for the sake of saying stuff. Just say I'm sorry if you don't know what else to say. I think it's very hard to I think it's very hard to just come up with anything, honestly. Cuz what can you say really? Nothing. Nothing you say is ever going to make the situation better, I don't think. Like, sometimes I think it's enough that just people show up and are there to spend a bit of time with you and hug you and listen to you while you cry, while you vent, while you share stories. Maybe that is the best thing. You hate mushrooms so much, I found the perfect thing for you. Is this game talking to me? Because I really don't like mushrooms either. I've been thinking about death. I know, shocker. Look what you've done to me. I think I want this mushroom soup. No, it's not called that, but I can't remember the name of it. And I'm writing you on my phone, so I don't feel like Googling it right now. Anyways, the idea is that it's a biodegradable suit that deceased wears. It's made of what people call a biomix, meaning mushrooms and other microorganisms that help to decompose bodies, neutralize toxins in the body, and provide nutrients for the soil for plants. I think this one company even offers casket liners for using green caskets. I don't know what a casket liner is. I think this is what I want. It'll just be like Annabelle. Wait, don't tell people I said that, okay? But seriously, it's pretty cool. I love all the death innovation happening. We might as well do something when we're in the ground, you know? Love you. Think about it and let me know your thoughts. I want all of your thoughts. If it's not this, then maybe I'll have my ashes made into jewelry. But seriously, I'm probably going to do this. There's no harm in planning ahead, am I right? Not at all. Okay, I hate mushrooms, but I wouldn't mind this at all. What? Hold on. Why are you here? Oh, right, and then the month. Never mind. Hi, Amy. I just want to thank you for the service of the other month, and apologize if I was abrupt. It was kind of a shock for me, and I didn't feel comfortable with the whole process. It wasn't supposed to die yet. It hasn't been easy. Charlie, I was hoping you wouldn't have to confront the situation. Yet, anyways, they're never easy. Rose and daughters have been asked to prepare the body of a young man who took his own life. He had a will prepared and asked for cremation, but the family has demanded a traditional burial instead. Unfortunately, he didn't make anyone his power of attorney and didn't have any witnesses sign his living will or his advance directive regarding his wishes. So his family is legally in the right to do whatever they want with his body. It's unfortunate, but we have to do as his family wishes. Matthew has graciously offered to take this on if you are uncomfortable with the subject. Instead, we have a second body you can prepare for a funeral we're hosting later in the afternoon. Charlie, is the suicide something you're comfortable dealing with? Let me know I'm here if you need me. Good day, Miss Rose. Disregard our son's will as it concerns matters of his burial. He was clearly not thinking right and didn't know what he really wanted. Proceed with an open casket funeral. As payment, I'll bring a check. Okay. In Portugal, when it comes to a will or a testament, what is legally binding up to a certain degree are the money and possessions of the deceased. Depending on if the person is or was married at the time of death, and how many children that person had at the time of death, or if they don't have children, if they have parents still alive, and if no parents, do they have siblings? You know, it just kind of goes in that order. But the spouse is just like the first one, like the priority one. Um, in those cases, there is like a percentage of the deceased possessions and finances that he cannot um how do you say, he cannot there's a bug on my wall. He just cannot choose where those possessions and where that money, or who is going to receive that money. He, the law states clearly to who that percentage goes to. And the rest, what remains, then it's then the law just states to follow the will. Any statements in the will or testament that do not refer to possessions or money, the law doesn't um, doesn't force anyone to follow through and respect the deceased will, and this includes um, the death ceremonies. I'm not sure how to call these. So personally, I think this is fucking disgraceful. I'm ashamed. I mean, I know this is fictional, but I'm ashamed for this family, and I feel really bad for the deceased. Um, like, this is fucking shameful. And a funeral home, like, we gotta do what we're being paid to do, regardless if we agree with it or not. So, but I would be like side-eyeing the family, like, what the fuck. No. This is not the neck. There. I still can't believe we did it. I feel like I should have known, you know, like being able to do something to stop it. There was no way to know. You can't blame yourself. You wouldn't have wanted that. I know. It just, it hurts. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I heard it wasn't going to be an open casket. I'm surprised it's public. Usually funerals for these circumstances are more private. What do you mean of public? I wish we were closer. Wow, I still can't believe this is real. My baby brother. I should have played more games with him when he asked. I know, I'm coming. Funeral rites, even in our own culture, may be something many of us may be unfamiliar with. For many people, all they know of funeral traditions are what they've seen in media. But, and I think this goes without saying, funeral rites and traditions aren't the same across the board. Different cultures have different protocols for cleaning the body to different aspects of the service itself. Religion provides different paths for dealing with the death, but the goal is almost always the same, offering support, guidance, and ease to the people who are grieving. In Judaism, interment usually begins immediately after somebody has passed. Up until burial, the body is never supposed to be alone, so often families will appoint a shomer, a guardian, to remain with the body. Preparations for burial begin as soon as possible in Muslim traditions as well. Local Islamic community organizations are also often involved and help the family make arrangements for the funeral service and burial. Not all practices are strictly religiously focused. In the odds in South Korea, the amount of graveyard space began to shrink drastically, causing a law to be passed that required families to remove a loved one's body from its burial place after 60 years. Many families began to cremate more often, but there are also companies that compress remains into beads in turquoise, pink, or black called death beads, sorry. This also occurs in North America, Europe, and Japan, but remains much more common in South Korea because of the space issue in graveyards at the expenses of cremation. Into beads? Like a necklace? What? Not all practices are somber either. Ever hear of the turning of the bones or famadihana? A ritual by the Malagasy people of Madagascar. Famadihana, as families return to an ancestral crypt, exhume the bodies wrapped in cloth before dancing with the bodies to lively music. This practice is celebration, remembrance, and way of keeping the deceased involved in family news. Death can be a difficult time for many people, obviously, but that doesn't mean there isn't a beauty in the ways we choose to honor and celebrate our deceased. I don't remember how I know of this like for the first time, but like isn't there a culture where you put the bodies in boats, set the boats on fire and just push them to sea? Or am I just making this up? And like Portugal has a very um, Catholic history. Um, even people, even atheists, when passing away, many families decide to still have a priest because that's just the common thing to do. Me personally, I don't want any religion in my own, when it's my turn. Like, fuck no. And I better hope that none of my family members who survive me betray me on that. Despite the law not really giving a shit about what I want. In that regard, as I mentioned. You're invited to attend a death. Oh, and I also saw in the news how, I don't remember where, but like these people, like the deceased, would get like, I don't know the English word, but they would be turned into statues, like the corpses, like they're corpses, but they're like super preserved, and the statues kind of like attend their own funeral, and the statues are supposed to represent their lifestyle. So we would have like a grandma with six cigarettes in each hand, and sunglasses, or a guy that died in a car crash. He would just be driving in a car in his own uh, funeral, like stuff like that. I like this was on the news. I'm sure if you Google it, you'll find it. Anyways, you're invited to attend a death cafe. Can't really write much right now. I have a lot of work I have to do with inguinal hernia from 1750. It's the oldest in our collection, and you can even see this bit of paper the surgeon put in after removing the hernia. Super cool. I'll send you a link when we have it cataloged. What is my life? What is that sentence I just typed? But anyway, this event that I'm forwarding you is taking place near you. Figured you'd be into it. Might help with that feeling of restlessness you were talking about before. Could be a good talk about some of the things you're feeling. Lots of deaf, positive people there. Sounds like it will be a safe space. Come increase awareness of death with a view to helping people make the most of their finite lives. Join us, have a tea and cake, and talk with others about our thoughts, fears, and illuminations on death. The founder of the Death Cafe movement, John Underwood, once said, "When people talk about death and dying, it tends to illustrate their humanity." See everyone at the Upside Down Jar next Thursday. Can I just say, first off, that this is bullcrap? Knowing how these corporations run, I wouldn't be surprised if they're monitoring our emails now. No, okay, I don't really believe that. I'm just upset. I get that Amy didn't have much of a choice. You can't only fight a huge corporation taking all of your business for so long. This isn't 6 feet under. And they just swooped in, and now we have to deal with their bullshit practices. They're colder than the corpse I picked up from the morgue this morning. Who charges this much for funerals? It feels dirty and exploitive. Let's grab a drink after work. I need to blow off some steam, and emails aren't really the most appropriate place to do this. Too late for me, I guess. If you're reading this, Hillside Overlord, good. Yeah, that is true. It's a very exploitive business, for sure. We are pleased to bring on Rose and Daughters as part of Hillside Heritage Enterprises, Inc. There will be another institution amongst hundreds of other properties owned across the country. But of course, as part of the adjustment process to the Hillside Heritage Enterprises Inc. culture, there will be a number of changes that will come to Rose and Daughters. We will send out the memo regarding the specifics and details of these changes. We expect them to be followed impeccably. Glad to be leading the way for Rose and Daughters from now on. Charlotte. Ooh. Ooh, baby. I'm Charlie. Below are details for our next client. Ensure you follow the request specifications exactly. After you are done, I will review your work in order to properly evaluate you at the end of the month. If you are a big ass company, and you are the CEO, why would you bother yourself with reviewing employees? Like, this doesn't make sense. Thank you, Mr. Grant, for agreeing to take care of Jocelyn's cremation. The bike accident was more than I was expecting. I knew she wanted to be cremated, and to be honest, I don't think I could bear seeing her like that after what happened. Thank you. Come on, game. I already did this, I think. Nice turn with the birds. Hey, there's coffee in here. Should we do a vigil at the spot? Careless drivers, I swear to God. She was always so careful. Wore her helmet, signaled used bike lanes. Asshole drivers, you need to pay attention. Have you heard what's happening to the driver? No, I haven't wanted to ask Leah. This has been hard enough on them without asking about the legal ramifications of all of this. Yeah, after all this, let's see what we can do to help them. Shouldn't deal with the death of their partner all by themselves. I mean, typically, this is like, if there's any legal stuff happening, it's usually like a big topic in the funeral, or happening during the funeral. I'm glad I'm here, but wow, I just need a glass of wine and to binge watch something right now. I have to go through all of her things. How am I supposed to decide what to keep? If you need help, I can help. No, thanks. I mean, but no. I don't know. It's so intimate. Feels like I should do it myself. She would kill me if others saw the things we have. Yeah, she was kind of a closed book. Except to you. Yeah, she was special. So glad it was a cremation. I would have lost it seeing your body. I read somewhere that it's processing grief tends to happen faster if you see a body. Like, when the cases of missing people, or that the body gets absolutely obliterated for some reason. I read about that ages ago. The appeal of a home funeral is apparent for many, especially if the deceased was somebody very close to you. The idea of keeping them at home until they are ready to be buried or cremated can be comforting. It wasn't that long ago that we were taking care of our own deceased, but nowadays people are quick to pass off their loved ones to a funeral home. Most families aren't given the option and assume this is mandatory. Funeral homes will almost always prepare the deceased using embalming and other methods to make them appear more alive. But isn't this process counterintuitive to the grieving process? Being around the deceased allows the bereaved to spend a longer period of time with their loved one's body, which can help them mourn or give opportunities to family members and friends to see the deceased one last time before they are taken to be buried or cremated. The idea of keeping the deceased body at home might sound gross, but it's important to understand decomposition takes a long time. You can further slow this process by keeping your home cool and dry. To be around your loved ones and to see them decay naturally is an important part of the grieving process. Home funerals aren't just more intimate, but they are economical. A traditional funeral, complete with body preparation, service, flowers, cars, and many other hidden costs and fees, can cost upwards of $7,000 to $10,000. When you're able to take care of your loved one yourself, to wash and dress them, and to organize your viewing from home, the only cost remaining is entirely in the cremation or burial itself. However, it's important to understand that different rules apply given on what state you live in. In all states, it is legal to have your loved one's body at home after they die. States like Alabama, Connecticut, Illinois, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, Nebraska, New Jersey, and New York require a funeral director's involvement, from signing death certificate to overseeing burial or cremation. If this is a route you decide to go for yourself or your loved ones, make sure you follow everything by the book. But just know that this may be an option available to you, your loved ones, if so choose. I don't know if this is legal in Portugal. I would be very concerned about like health hazards because Portugal is not a cold country. In fact, it's getting warmer and warmer each year that goes by, but I guess that goes for the planet, right? But yeah, Portugal is not a cold country. Definitely not nowadays. That's for sure. Um, I wouldn't be okay with having a dead person in my house, as much as I love them. I would need like I feel that I would need some distance between me and the body. Like my home. Like my home needs to be a safe space. And having memories, images of having the dead person here, it would destroy the safety I feel of this space. So yeah. My ex-girlfriend, when her mother passed away, also to cancer, because fuck cancer, she She dressed her own mother. She cleaned her own mother, and she dressed her own mother. Her mother was buried though, it wasn't cremated, so I'm not really sure what type of preparation the funeral home did. But in terms of cleaning and dressing, that was my ex-girlfriend. I can't imagine what that must have been like for her. Like, it was her choice. She wanted to do it. I don't think I could ever do it. Maybe for a child. Maybe for a child. But an adult, I don't think I could. I really don't think I could. I just saw a video of a gorilla walking on its hind legs, like a human being. Charlie, a human being. We as species have seen the beginning of our end. This is fucking normal for gorillas. What the hell are you talking about? Hey Charlotte, I've reviewed your request on behalf of potential family inquiring if we at Hillside Heritage Enterprise Inc. can and will perform green burials. I should have informed you of this in the beginning, but we do not perform green funerals as they are not cost effective. All employees and subsidiaries of Hillside Heritage Enterprise Inc. must comply. We don't wish to lose potential customers though, so do try your hardest to convince the families requesting green burials to instead choose a traditional burial package, complete with embalming, caskets, and vaults instead. I trust you will ensure we do not lose any customer, Charlotte. Oh, please, please, please. Okay. Hello. As stated in a previous email, here are the new rules and code of conduct I expect you to follow from now on, while on any premises belonging to Hillside Heritage Enterprises, Inc. First and foremost, there is a required uniform and strict dress code from now on. Second, most importantly to this, is that no tattoos are to be visible. If you have visible tattoos, ensure they are properly covered and hidden. When speaking with customers and clients, consider the opportunity to upsell. Always encourage the deceased loved ones to purchase the higher quality package. We find that encouraging loved ones to think of the comfort and style of the deceased as an experience with no price limit on it. Additionally, food is no longer allowed to be brought in. Instead, encourage the deceased loved ones to purchase our premium sandwich. What the fuck? An appetizer food package. Our partner catering concepts provides high quality food that will be delivered weekly from their factory and can easily be defrosted the morning of the funeral. Oh, yeah, that is great quality. I expect all of the above changes to be instituted effective immediately to ensure a smooth transition into the high quality services Hillside Heritage Enterprise Inc. is known for. Charlie, I need a drink. Beer after work? Also, I really want mozzarella sticks. I can be both hungry and hangry. And no, I will not say hangry. Ever. Charlotte, I am proud to announce that Hillside Heritage Enterprises Inc. received a contract with the city to dispose of any unclaimed bodies. This is an important revenue stream for us, as I'm sure I don't need to explain to you, Charlotte. Although Hillside Heritage Enterprises Inc. is being paid a decent wage for the city for these services, cremation is preferred here, as it is the more cost-efficient of the two options. The first unclaimed body we will be handling belongs to a middle-aged man, possibly homeless, whose body has yet to be claimed. No special preparations are needed for this cadaver, aside for cremation. Why would you even talk like that? The cadaver. Like, it was a person, man. Like, is the person wrong? No. Is the person an asshole? The CEO? Abso-fucking-lutely. Okay, just a tag. We can call it a few different things, like flameless cremation, a bit of an oxymoron, but we'll let it slide. Or perhaps more commonly, resumation. It's a technical name, though it's actually alkaline hydrolysis. Whatever you want to call it, it's here and it's an environmentally friendly alternative to traditional cremation. For the sake of this newsletter, let's call it water cremation. We all know that traditional cremation and burials take a huge toll on the environment, the high energy consumption that adds to the greenhouse gas effect being one of the chief amongst them. And water cremation is an alternative method available for the eco conscious amongst. How does it work? It's basically a water based chemical process that uses really strong alkali in water heated up very high, about 350 Fahrenheit. It basically works like a sped up version of natural decomposition. The excess water gets put through the same water treatment process as any sewage water at a factory. And alkaline hydrolysis uses significantly less energy than traditional cremation processes. Neat, huh? It's been around for a bit, and in some places became legal around the end of the first decade of the aughts. Not a bad alternative for those who don't want their death to have any greater impact on the environment than necessary. This is the first time I hear about this, and it sounds awesome. Dating a special effects makeup artist, and she's like the coolest person I've ever met in my life. She totally loves Ava's possession and was equally freaked out by the possession scenes, but so utterly delighted at the idea of a support group for people who have been possessed. That was your best recommendation in a while, Charlie. You were slipping here. You were sleeping there. I was getting worried you had lost your taste. But yeah, her name is Lily, and she's super death positive and isn't freaked out by my work, and also isn't too into it like the last dude I saw. Jason, Michael, can't remember. I just really like spending time around her. I can talk about whatever I want, and it's never conversation stopper. She also totally gets what I mean when I say that, like, working with death and spending so much time thinking about death actually makes me happier. It makes everything else feel so much more worth it, you know? Memento mori, or whatever they taught us in that one poetry class we took. We just clicked. Feels good, fun, and affirming, like dating should be. I'm thinking of taking her to Maple Meadows. She's super into roller coasters, and I think the idea of sharing cotton candy, or maybe not, I don't want to throw up on the rides, is sickeningly cute. Then maybe I'll kiss her on top of a Ferris wheel. Be super corny and cliche for once in a while. Anywho, enough about me for now. I'm still kind of in shock from your last email. Do you think you're going to do it? You know you have my support 100%, no matter what you decide. I have no fucking idea what I sent her. What the hell? Charlie, it's official. I put in my 2 weeks notice. You know how unhappy I am working for Mega Corporation 101. My skills, especially my driving ones, are useful in other professions, so I'm not worried about myself. But you, I am worried about. You're too good for this corporate scum. You actually care about the people you work with and for. Don't let them defeat you, okay? P.S. I'll bring beers over next week. We can talk a bit more freely. Hello all. We are thrilled to announce that Hillside Heritage Enterprises Inc.'s subsidiary Rose and Daughters just signed a contract with Morning Valley Hospital, allowing us access to all of the cadavers that come through their pediatric and maternity wards. We're excited for the opportunity to work with Morning Valley Hospital, which intakes over 1,000 patients and receives over $15 million in funding and donations annually. This will no doubt be a boon for Hillside Heritage Enterprises Inc.'s bright and sustained future. Right, and while you're getting rich, what the fuck do your employees get? Absolutely nothing. We all know. Charlotte, I see you were not able to convince the Dimka family to take a standard funeral. I had to contact them myself in order to not lose the sale. Please read the enclosed emails for a lesson on how to properly upsell potential customers. I don't want to see that we've lost any customers because of your refusal to upsell. This is part of your job. Ooh. Dear Mr. Grant, regarding last time we spoke, my daughters and I would still prefer to host a home funeral ourselves and keep my wife here until she's ready to be buried. Just want to make sure she's taken care of. Her heart attack was so sudden, we don't know what to do. We just want to make sure she has a proper send-off. Dear Mr. Dimka, I understand your desire to keep your wife at home, but I assure you the best way to honor your wife is through a traditional funeral package instead. I promise you your wife's funeral with us will be a beautiful, intimate gathering where all of her beloved friends and family can come together and say their goodbyes, which that is also achievable at a home funeral. A standard embalming will allow for everyone to view your wife, ensuring that everyone can see her one final time as she was. Beautiful, peaceful, and courageous. Letting us take care of the food with your prepared food service will ensure you don't have a single thing to worry about on this day. You and your daughters are going through a hard time right now. Let us here at Rose and Daughters make this difficult time a little easier for you. Okay, yeah, this tactic would work. It is plausible. Okay, we'll take traditional funeral package. Thank you for considering us in this hard time. Yeah, That would fucking work. An open casket, okay. Oh, sorry, lotion. Oh my god, mouse. Oh my god. This feels so impersonal. She would have hated this. Yeah, but I don't know. They must have had their reasons. Hmm. Oh, hey, what did you think of that trailer I sent you? Oh, yeah, I've heard that show is so good. I saw that video of the one kid actor doing karaoke. Did they regret? Do you think we did the right thing? I feel bad not doing what Mom asked for. I know, honey, but what that Chad guy said seems right. You don't want to dishonor her memory by letting it rot. Yeah, I just want Mom to know I loved her. Wish I had nailed at her before. Shh, it's okay. She knew you loved her. Fights happen. Please don't be hard on yourself. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to miss her. Me too. It's so cold in here. I think they have the air conditioning on too high. Yeah, let's go for a walk later. It's real nice out. Would be good to stretch my legs. I'm starving. Why do these things always make me so hungry? You're always hungry. I mean, apparently this says catering, so why aren't you eating? What the? Charlie dear, I'm so proud of you. I knew there was something special in you when I hired you for Rose and Daughters. If there is anything I can do for you, please do not hesitate to ask. I am always happy to help. I sorely miss you and Matthew's terrible sense of humor. Hey Charlie, when I first became a hearse driver, I was told that my most important job wasn't steering, it was sympathizing. I respectfully disagree, and thankfully I concentrated on my driving skills since I'm now working as a, wait for it, bus driver! A school bus driver, Charlie. Can you believe that? Pretty sure if I said the most important part of my job now wasn't steering, I'll be fired immediately. I didn't know how else to tell you. For some reason I was worried you'd think less of me, but I don't know why. You've never been the judgmental kind. And besides, corpses are way easier to deal with than children. Screaming children, might I add. I actually love it. These kids are gonna be pretty cute. Don't tell Amy that I told you that. She was always harping on me for not having any kids and for being all cynical about them. Congrats on your new business, Charlie. I'm proud of you. I'll swing by your new place one day and show you my new wheels. Maybe we can grab a bite to eat. Be seeing ya. Charlie, I'm so happy for you. I know it's been a rough year for you. Seriously, I think our wine intake saw a bazillion% increase, but you stuck through it all like a champ. You deserve this. Finally being your own boss is a great move for you. No more having to explain anything you don't want to. I'm not trying to be too cheesy right now. Can't wait to be home next week for our visit and to check out your new space. P.S. Have you heard about these green burial pods? When I find the link in my 1 million open tabs, I'll shoot it over to you. Oh, I know that. I heard about that. Dear Charlie, today's the day already, isn't it? I can't believe how quickly this has come up. Thank you for your understanding and for your work. You've made today easier already. See you at 1 p.m. We have tattoos. This hurts. I thought it would be easier, but it's not. It hurts so much, but thank you for helping me give her the funeral she always wanted. Anyway, I think we're ready to get started now. I can't talk to anyone. Well, guys, and that was a Mortician's tale. As you saw, um, it's more of a learning experience rather than a game. Um, every single step was like every step we had to make was written on top of the screen. So it's not like there's freedom. It's like the whole game is a tutorial, basically, on what to do and how to do and in what order to do. Um, Regarding the contents of like the lessons, like the newsletter, the different types of burials, the business aspect of it, or of these of the death industry, if you want to call it. I already made my criticisms throughout the video. I don't think there's anything new I can add. I enjoyed learning. There was a lot here that I didn't know, and I will always appreciate that. But I can see this game not appealing to a lot of people, whether because you know they prefer to pretend that death isn't a thing, and so they kind of avoid anything that touches it, or because there's no gameplay, or I don't know, for whatever reason. Nonetheless, I hope this video has been entertaining. I leave a link for the game itch.io page below if you want to check it out. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you soon.